So the lines that we graphed previously were already in the slope-intercept form. So what do we do when they're not in the slope-intercept form? How do we graph them? Well, simple. We've already done this before, right? You just solve them for y in terms of x, thus getting them in the y equals mx plus b form, and then they can easily be graphed. All right, so we'll look at that now. So we've got some lines here. 6x plus 3y equals negative 12. Negative 2x plus 4y minus 8 equals 0. These are clearly not in the y equals mx plus b form. So if we're going to have to identify the slope and the y-intercept, what we're going to have to do is get them in that form first, right? So we're going to have to get them in the y equals mx plus b form. So we're basically trying to isolate the y. So how do we isolate the y? Well, we got to get rid of this 6x. So we would subtract 6x, and then we'd have 3y equals, and generally you want to write the x term first, negative 6x minus 12, and then divide both sides by 3, but you should do this individually. So now we have 3 individual terms. So we get y equals negative 2x minus 4. And now that it's in this y equals mx plus b form, we can clearly see the slope is negative 2, but again we're going to want to write it as negative 2 over 1, and the y-intercept is negative 4. And similarly with the other one, how would we isolate the y here? Well, here we could add 2x to both sides. We'd have 4y minus 8 equals 2x. Then we could add 8 to both sides. So we've got 4y equals 2x plus 8. And then we could divide each term by 4. And we have y equals 2/4 is 1/2 x plus 2. So now we know the slope here is 1 over 2, and the y-intercept is 2. So again, if we remember what we had said in the last video, this here over here, the slope negative 2 over 1 means we're going to move down 2 over 1, and we're going to start at 0, negative 4. Here we're going to move up 1 over 2 after starting at 0, 2. So we can go down to our axes now. Start at 0, negative 4, and go down 2 over 1. So if we're going to start at negative 4 and then go down 2 over 1, we really can't do that. So we have to do kind of what we said before, where you can think of negative 2 over 1 as 2 over negative 1. So then we can actually think of it as moving up 2 and left 1. So we can go up 2, left 1, put a point. Up 2, left 1, put a point. Up 2, left 1, put a point. And now that's better. And then we can graph this. So there's that line, which we had written in the form y equals negative 2x minus 4. But it can also be thought as 6x plus 3y equals negative 12. Okay, and then the other one now had a slope of 1/2 and a y-intercept of 0, 2. So for that one, we're going to start at 0, 2 and then move up 1 over 2. So for this, we're going to start here at 0, 2, and then we move up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. But we could have also went down 1, left 2, however you want to do it. And then there would be our line for that one. So that one had a slope of 1/2 and a y-intercept of 2. All right, and it does indeed rise because it had a positive slope, whereas the blue line had a negative slope, and that's why it falls from left to right. Okay, and then the last two now are different because, actually no, this one isn't different, right? This one is similar. 4y minus 12 equals negative 3x, just d is different. So again, solve this for y. So how do you do it? Add 12, and we'd have 4y equals negative 3x plus 12, and then we divide everything by 4. So this one is going to be y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. So our slope is negative 3/4, and our y-intercept is 3. So this told us to move down 3, right 4, after starting at 0, 3. So we can do that now. Start at 0, 3, move down 3, right 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the only point we're going to be able to get over there. And here we can get 1 if instead of moving down 3, right 4, we move up 3, left 4. And then we can connect those 3 points. So there's your other line, right? And again, that one also had a negative slope, but the slope was only negative 3/4, so it's not quite as steep as the other negative slope, which had the other negative slope line, which had a slope of -2, right? Because -2 is a steeper negative than negative 3/4. So you can see that the blue line is steeper than the black line. So that was another line with a negative slope. And then the last one is the one that I thought C and D were both. Because can I solve this for y? Yeah, sure, but there's no x in it. So it's going to be a little bit different, right? So here I would do the same thing, isolate the y. So I'd add 36. So I end up with 9y equals 36. And then if I divide by 9, I'm just going to have y equals 4. And again, this was the special line, right? There's no x term in it, so it's just a slope of 0 and a y-intercept of 4. But it was a horizontal line. So that was the easier way of thinking of this one, right? It's a horizontal line that goes through 0, 4. So you would just plot a point at 0, 4 and then go straight across to form a horizontal line and then connect. So there's your horizontal line, y equals 4. So there's all 4 of your lines now on the same set of axes.